Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Aries.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, notify bell next to it. Man, I was all over that community tab this weekend, Larson, telling people about the pro wrestling tea sale that's now over.
Great.
But you know what's not over? The availability of the Chill Roman shirt.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be available in perpetuity.
It's still available. Did you see the new postcard that's being sent out to all the friendos? I'm going to go get
Oh, goodness gracious.
I spent a little bit of time this morning.
Oh, yeah. I was noticing that while I was on the phone and doing notes.
I was filling out the postcards. There it is. Look at what a terrible little piece of artwork right there.
Oh, that's good. You can do
That thing took me like 10 minutes to do. Look at
That's
that.
not working at
That's
all.
not working at all. You just
Wipe
ruined
that
it.
right off.
Oh, okay. Well, some lucky person will get a wiped off postcard.
Let's
So
sign my
yeah,
name over it.
even though the sale is done, the offer still stands. The latest Steven Larson postcard, because we're all out of the ones of us sitting there like this.
Good.
So if you order something from the Friendo Market,
Tired of seeing that one.
me too. I want to move on.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Next batch of postcards should be around Christmas time. Christmas cards.
Oh, I love it. That's great. That's good. That's really good. We'll do that because we got like 500 of these. So that means we have to sell 500 things. We have to sell a lot of things between now and Christmas time. And the Christmas. So the deal is this. You order a shirt from prowrestlingtees.com/Going In Raw, and we will send you one of these. And it's got like my terrible handwriting, the name and address. Oh, yeah, and they all come with this exclusive little coffee stain right here.
You know,
they all have one
that's
of those.
not conclusively coffee.
People, yeah, it could be micturation.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the pee-pee.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought when I saw it at first.
That's a possibility.
Like if someone's a little bit dehydrated.
Yeah, some yellow pee right there.
Yeah,
I like that
crusty.
people will get this and they'll be like, "What the hell?"
They try to scratch off the pee stain, but it's not a real stain. It's a picture.
Or they just like, "Oh my god, I can't touch
gosh.
that. That's disgusting." Anyways, so that's a hell of a deal right there. And then, so yeah, that was great. We sold a ton of those shirts. Got a ton of Chill Roman shirts. Our Super Showdown, WeBook Super Showdown went up with a stunning, I won't spoil it, a stunning finale.
Yeah.
We need to enlist
It did really well. Thank you, everybody, for checking that out.
some of our awesome friendos out there in the community to start doing reviews of WeBook
Yeah, well, I want to
stuff.
see podcast recaps of our dumb shows.
Yeah,
That's what I wanna
exactly.
see.
Even just like a write-up in the Discord. Speaking of Discord, Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. $1 a month gets you this show on YouTube ad-free, completely ad-free. It also gets you access to the Going In Raw Discord server, a wonderful community of friendos who just like to talk about wrestling and us and me and Larson. All sorts of great gifts and emotes or emojis, whatever they're called. I like you got a little Flip Gordon button there. I'm not gonna wear this Brian Cage Wolverine one because for one thing, he lost last night at Bound for Glory. He ate the pin. First time in Impact, he ate a pin.
Oh dear.
Well, that's gonna be a hazard at some point.
Under your chair too.
We've got a full Bound for Glory recap coming up a little bit later from
you. I didn't watch any of it.
And I didn't watch the entire thing, but I'm going to watch the rest of it.
But everybody's really talking about the end. I saw the part that everybody's talking about the end.
The part we're going to talk about, the end, exactly. And then, but the Patreon's got all sorts of great rewards there. Be sure to check it out. I sent off a ton of the August, all the August care packages are out. Mm-hmm. People are getting them right now. You get a comic book. Check this out. You get a comic book. You get some stickers. Mecha Santa, top notch, soon to make their returns.
Yeah, and best of all, it's all the old school logo. So it really, if you're nostalgic for the halcyon days of going in Raw,
the better days.
Yeah,
I'm actually thinking January 1st.
To go back to that,
I might flip all the. No, we've moved on. I might flip the Friendo Care package. Get the new logo in there.
All right.
This is limited edition now.
Oh, wow.
Limited edition. Start over from scratch.
Interesting.
And then at the first of the month, anybody who's a $20 patron starting January 1st, send one out to them too. That's how it'll work.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know. I just bring this stuff up. Don't talk to you about it.
Nah.
Then we'll figure it out.
It's news to me.
Then we'll bring it down. I'll say, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Got to keep things fresh. Anyways. Oh, boy. All this light banter.
I know.
In anticipation. Now it has to end.
I was hoping this lead story would be something a little more optimistic to talk about.
Hold on a second. Do you know how much fun I'm looking forward to having talking about Austin Aries?
A lot. So bottle that. Save that.
I know. I was hoping that would be our lead story, but we have to talk about Crown Jewel.
We do.
So what do you think? Is it going to be canceled or no?
Sadly, no. I wish they would, but I don't think they're going to anyway. It seemed like Sunday morning. So we both independently saw this Wrestling Observer story Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, that's it. It's got to be canceled.
Yeah,
and then shortly thereafter, just cold water poured all over me.
Yeah.
So early Sunday.
It's like somebody, like a politician or something, has like a sex scandal. Oh, their career's done. It's not? Really? Huge tax scandal. Career's not done? Really?
He colluded with the foreign government?
Really? It's not done? You really? That seems to be the way to go these days, right? Just power through. So. I half admire them for just powering through all this stuff. Anyways, continue.
So early Sunday, there was some speculation about whether Crown Jewel was actually going to happen because the Wrestling Observer noted that the show, quote, has been removed from the WWE's website calendar of events. However, David Bixenspan, who writes for Deadspin, noted on Twitter, quote, for what it's worth, if anything about Crown Jewel was removed from WWE.com, a WWE spokesman is telling me that it would be an error. The event should still be listed. Another tweet, he said, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. In another tweet, he says, quote, there's still a Crown Jewel event page under shows. It doesn't have an entry on the tickets and live event page, but it didn't when I looked last week when I was writing my article either. So I think what Mr. Bixenspan was saying is that maybe it's never been on there.
Has anybody tried? This might be a really stupid question. How the Internet Wayback Machine? Can you check that from like a week ago to see if there have actually been any changes made?
I don't know.
Do we? So the Meltzer thing. Do we know that there were changes made?
No, I think people went to the live events thing expecting it to be there and wasn't there, and then they assumed that it should have been there.
Right.
That's how I interpreted it.
Okay.
And since most of all the other events are still there now, if it was taken off the shows thing.
Yeah, because I noticed it was still on the shows.
Yeah, it's right there.
But then I also read that
Then I read somewhere that they took all references to Saudi Arabia out of it.
Yeah, so now they updated the show page to be like a full preview thing.
Yeah, rather than just
before it was just a write up.
A little write up on the bottom. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at this here.
And then last night, Pro Wrestling Insider provided an update. Quote: an update from a story from earlier today. And speaking with a number of WWE sources, the company is still planning to run the Crown Jewel show in Saudi Arabia on November 2nd, unless something drastic happens. The plans will not change. They are currently moving forward as if the show will take place in Saudi Arabia. Then last night, also on last week tonight, John Oliver, he went off on WWE, on the Trump administration, just all the dealings with Saudi Arabia. Saying, quote, WWE held their first of many events. This is what John Oliver said. WWE held their first of many events there back in April. Audiences around the world were treated to wall-to-wall propaganda about the new Saudi Arabia, including a video showing a woman happily driving, men dancing in tourist destination, beauty shots, as well as constant excited compliments throughout the broadcast, which followed a montage of what did Michael Cole say? the progressive city of
No,
the first one's in
Riyadh.
No, it wasn't in Riyadh. It was a different city.
I forget, but
Jeddah.
Jeddah. Yeah, it was Jeddah. That's right. Yeah.
And then John Cena saying thanks for the hospitality and some other things.
Yeah, I do like that they picked out all those, because it's funny. Like, we watch so much damn wrestling, it's easy to sort of lose all that stuff. But then when you hear it,
isolated,
especially,
yes.
When he says the progressive city, no, man, no. We live like an hour and a half away from the Bay Area, where there's plenty of cities that could be, or there's plenty of areas that could be considered progressive. None of those places are in Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, they don't exist.
Sports Illustrated reported that, quote, speaking on the condition of
anonymity.
Yes, I always have trouble saying that word. Multiple members.
I couldn't say arthroscopic.
Arthroscopic. See, that one I could do fine.
Arthroscopic.
Multiple members of the WWE talent roster have expressed discomfort with the idea of performing in Saudi Arabia, especially given the nation's poor record with human rights.
This always cracks me up because I was talking to my dad about this. I know exactly. It's the weirdest thing, dude. It's the weirdest thing. My dad in action is like one of the most liberal people I know, but then he's like totally freaking right wing and everything. Like I don't know. He's the weirdest. He's a weird dude. But anyways, like, he raised me to be a super liberal, but then he's like saying, "Oh man, Russian collusion is totally fine." Dad, no, it's not. Anyways, he said, I always love when he does this. He always says, if the Saudi government really, really loved Going in Raw, and they wanted to send Steven Larson out to Saudi Arabia for $1 million each, would you do it?
I always love when he poses questions. He does it to me too.
Yeah.
If such and such offered you $1 million by the show, would you do it?
Right.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So for $1 million, and the Saudi said, you can go out. I said, if we were able to go with the WWE sort of envoy, then probably yes, because we'd be like super protected. But if it's just me and you going out to Saudi Arabia, I don't know about that one. No.
I mean, first of all, what would the purpose be for us going out there?
You'd have to ask my dad that. I don't know. I'm sure he's got some sort of thought in his head.
Even with WWE, probably not.
Really? No, for $1 million?
No.
I'd totally do it.
How's it any different than what the WWE is doing then? That we're criticizing them for.
Oh yeah, I know, but $1 million is a lot of money.
I understand that.
I know it's terrible. It's terrible. But keep it real, I would. So anyways, are you kidding me? Do you think our wives would let us not go? Do you think for a second either of our wives would let us not do that?
Oh, my wife would understand.
No, man.
Yeah.
No. $1 million? No.
After taxes, it's only like $600,000.
Tell you what, I'll get my wife.
Pay off your house.
I'll get my wife to convince your wife.
No, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
I think so.
No. No, I'd have a hard time doing it. WWE is still feeling political pressure as well. This time from Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, who said, quote, "I hope that WWE will recognize on its own a conscience and a conviction. If there is proof Saudi officials approved and ordered this kind of killing, I would lean first on the United States government to do its duty so they could lead private interests like WWE, and the first place to look is to the United States of America." And then Jake Trapper of CNN just posted Tapper posted on Twitter that there's a breaking story that
Sally's about to cop to it.
Well, kind of. Two sources tell them that the Saudis are preparing a report that will acknowledge Jamal Khashoggi's death was the result of an interrogation that went wrong, one that was intended to lead to his abduction from Turkey. It continues, report will likely conclude that the operation was carried out without clearance and transparency, and that those involved will be held responsible. And the one source said report is still being prepared and cautioned that things could change. So they're kind of saying there's like some rogue operation that was going on. That's what it means. So I heard that elsewhere too this morning.
Man, none of those people are doing anything without express permission and directive.
If you read the comments on that, everybody's like, what, people just bring a bone saw to
I know, exactly,
yeah. A bone saw lying around.
So we were going to try to kidnap this guy, and he's like...
take him back to Saudi Arabia.
Now he's in 15 pieces in a bunch of suitcases. How did that went from 0 to 100? No, man, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Man, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, so... I mean, ideally, they would not do the show. I think it's Daily Beast had a great idea. There's a couple of the United Kingdom shows, like 2 days after Crown Jewel, moved the show to the United Kingdom.
They have Crown Jewels
you
there.
You have to change the name.
Yeah, they have.
I mean,
Crown
it would be
Jewels
advisable
there.
just so people just forget about this whole business to begin with.
No, all you got to do is change the logo, like make it look like the Queen's crown.
Yeah.
And then put like the British flag behind it. Everybody loves England. They've got a thriving wrestling scene.
Yeah.
They're doing the NXT. They just unveiled those NXT UK tag team titles.
Those look great.
You know why they look great. Because Triple H is in
probably
charge.
designed himself.
Exactly.
He's got a great design.
He's on his iPad. All right, listen. Look at all that. I spent 15 hours yesterday doing this, sitting in my lawn chair. And it's like, wow.
No, he does that on the private jet from like scheduled thing he has to next scheduled thing he has, man. That guy's like The Rock. He doesn't sleep.
This is immaculate, Triple H. I didn't know you knew had the ins and outs of embossing.
I find it funny. You don't think I know metallurgy.
Exactly. I'm the game. My theme is metallurgy.
Anyways, hopefully they cancel the show.
So $1 million? Really? You're not going to do it for $1 million?
No, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Oh, man. Are you kidding? You get a brand new bed. It'd make you sleep fine.
No, I wouldn't be able to do it.
You know what? You know who might get $1 million? Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Going to the WWE to fight
maybe.
Seth Rollins.
Maybe, yeah. So
who's gonna do the Kenny impression today?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll try. Seth Rollins, he was at the ACE Comic-Con in Chicago and told the crowd, I don't know what the question was. I'm sure this wasn't unprompted.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rollins, hello. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it's the best wrestling on the planet. I'm a big fan of Kenny Omega. I would like to see him fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I would like to face Kenny Omega. That's the worst Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's so bad.
You do Kenny or Seth Rollins then.
No, I don't think I can.
He says, I am the best wrestler in the world.
I would like to face
and like to prove it. And then Kenny caught wind of this and tweeted in response, an exciting proposal. Now, if only there was an appropriate venue for such an historic clash.
You old fart. And then
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, he's got to get on the action.
Oh, man, this is great.
He said, that's adorable. The winner can face me, the best wrestler in the world versus the greatest sports entertainer of all time. Somebody let at WWE Rollins and at Kenny
It's like
Omega.
basically a subtweet.
It is. He doesn't tag anybody. He's just subtweeting.
But he's like he tried to.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually doesn't know that the at button is the thing.
No, I think he does. It's just funnier this way.
Yeah, it is hilarious this way. It is great.
So is this going to happen, Steve?
He's just chuckling the whole time, and Gargano's probably next to him, super chuckling.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen?
No way.
Well, I mean, like that sort of leads into our next story.
Exactly. That's why this show is ordered this way.
So it feels much more like the Elite are going to become their own faction in New Japan. That's what it really feels like, and it actually feels like the decision has been made already. That I don't get the feeling that the fact that they're so obvious about them wanting us to believe that they're going to WWE
means they're not going to go to WWE.
Means they're probably not going to go to WWE. On the other hand, this could be New Japan saying, "Hey, we're ushering like you make." I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think
they're going either.
I don't think they're going.
I've been consistent on that point. I don't think they're going. Not now, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like this. I don't know if this was a decision that was made. It seems like it was made fairly recently, because they're making a big stink about it right now. Mm-hmm. So it kind of doesn't.
Well,
feel
I hope. Well, here's moving on to the next story that we could talk about that too. So there's been some Bullet Club merchandise drama, kind of, over the last couple of weeks. Several Elite members have said, "This is my last Bullet Club shirt, designed shirt."
The Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll all announced that there will no longer be marketing Bullet Club T-shirts after the end of this year.
From Wrestling Observer, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, from Wrestling Observer. According to Wrestling Observer, who literally probably talks to these guys every day, it was a business decision that was made, given New Japan owns the Bullet Club name, and they are looking at marketing themselves with IP that they will own themselves, talking about the Elite.
Yes.
It's not indicative of where they will be in 2019. At King of Pro Wrestling, it appeared that the Tama Tonga side will be the one using that name. I mean, if nothing else, it gives them. My thing isn't even necessarily like this, like the merch stuff. It's just they've been so talking about it lately, and even Tama Tonga, who is friends with all these guys, is saying best wishes in WWE, that kind of stuff. Although I don't know, I guess things can change.
They could, but I hope the end result of all this is granted them re-signing with Ring of Honor and New Japan would be great. Is I don't know what exactly, but something larger. You
got those dreams, man. I don't. What could be larger though?
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know what it could be. I don't know. Something to generate buzz beyond kind of the standing pat,
Like whenever you talk about something larger, you always talk about like what they could do in the NWA.
I know. That's the only outlet I can think of.
It's like they don't even have like
they even have their own shows. I know.
They have their own shows.
But if you have
I see what you're saying.
If you have the Elite, then you will real quick.
Yeah. Well, you'll have something.
But that would just be one part in a larger thing for all these guys. Not like they would just not sign with re-sign with New Japan and not re-sign with Ring of Honor, dedicate all their energy to the NWA. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But maybe if they could sign some sort of non-exclusive deals.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Ring of Honor has a lot of money technically, although I'm not sure how much Sinclair's.
It doesn't necessarily always translate to what we see.
I don't think Sinclair really. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Sinclair really cares about wrestling.
It seems like they just want programming on their stations.
Yeah, I mean, Impact could be going out of business any day now. Especially now that Austin Aries might be gone.
He was
the glue that kept him in business.
The one thing keeping them from bankruptcy.
Yeah, he was.
I'm not sure about that.
No, in my mind, it's Moose rocking that the Shiki. I don't know. I don't know what any decisions have been made. Maybe this is a primer for them to go to the WWE. Maybe they're like, hey, we want us because they know they own the Elite. Maybe this is just getting their ducks in a row for true contract season.
It could be.
That could be the case too. I just get this general feeling that they're just referencing the hell out of it, and they wouldn't if they were actually going to the WWE.
Or they want you to think that. They want you to think, oh, if they're referencing WWE so much, they're not going to go there for sure.
But then they really are going to go there.
Yeah.
It would blow everything up. I don't know. I feel like every week we just talk about this, and there's nothing.
There's
absolutely
news.
nothing.
It's basically non-news.
Yeah, it's great though. Tama Tonga tweeted out. This was funny. He tweeted out, "The Elite doesn't exist without Bullet Club. Good luck in WWE." And we were here before. We were here during. We'll be here after. Bullet Club. Good luck in WWE.
Bullet Club. Then, now, forever.
Right. Tama Tonga at this point is coming off kind of like a jilted girlfriend or boyfriend. I was always here for you. Good luck with your new hot boyfriend or whatever. He kind of comes off that way. The funniest one was Hangman Page, who put up, this is my last one, and Tama Tonga said, didn't you just get here or something like that? He was like, you were nothing before Bullet Club. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah.
You were nothing before Bullet Club.
Hangman Page wished Tama Tonga happy birthday.
He said, happy birthday. Hope you have well wishes on your birthday. And then Tama Tonga responded with, thanks for calling my dad a piece of shit. Good luck at WWE. Yeah, that's what it was at the end. So, I don't know. Maybe they don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I don't know. I think they would know. They probably.
You think they know?
Yeah. At this point, I think they would have to know.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Are they at the point? Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Do you think they're at the point contractually where they're allowed to know what the WWE will offer them?
No, but
then they can't. Then they can't know. Then they can't know.
They can't. They're not talking numbers, but I think they will know. If the decision, they may not know WWE numbers, but I'm guessing they know Ring of Honor numbers.
They know Hangman Page, what he was offered, apparently.
Yeah, probably, and they know.
But how can they really extrapolate from
that? I'm sure Ring of Honor has already extended contract offers to them.
Yeah, sure.
So they know what one party would give them.
And if Ring of Honor offers them X number of dollars,
you got to assume WWE is going to offer more.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, if WWE offered him 4X, like, why would they ever stay in Ring of Honor? 4 times the amount of money.
Because they value their creative freedom.
I value money. That's what they value, money.
They already have money.
They can have 4x that money.
Well, you know what I mean? At a certain point...
No, at a certain point what? At a certain point what?
I mean, at what point...
Money solves all problems.
Not all problems, no. It solves a lot, but not all. It creates a lot of problems too, Steve.
Does it?
Well, that's what the song's called. More money, more problems, man.
That's right.
So think about that before you say money solves all the problems, all right?
Money.
You can't buy happiness. Have you heard that?
Money. I don't know, man.
You know?
I'm a lot happier when we're making more money.
Well, obviously.
Patreon.com/Stephen Larson.
I mean, it's nice if you're financially comfortable.
Yeah, man.
Like if we were making Young Bucks money, man, I would be totally happy. And if someone came by and said, "Here, you can have 4 times this money, but you have to give up this."
Give up what though?
Say we had we gave up this, our independence.
Yeah.
And we had some overbearing boss telling us what to do all the time. Yet we were making 4 times more money.
I'd probably be okay with that.
No way.
Really?
You'd be doing it yourself then.
We'd be we wouldn't do that. Like we have to ride into the sunset together.
But that's the sacrifice that they would have to make. They're their own bosses right now.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
They dictate the course of their career, but if they go to WWE, that ends. And they might value that independence more than 4 times the money.
Yeah, but you know what? 3 years, 4 times the money. If they don't like it, they can get out. And look at AJ. You know AJ, I mean, he was trying to get them to come along with him when he came.
Yep.
And look at what they've done with him. Holy moly. I'd be like, look at AJ over there. He seems like
that's one.
He's on the cover of video game.
That's one example where it worked. There's a lot of other examples where it didn't.
Yeah, man.
So
I don't know. Here's the thing. You're right. It all depends on what they want, obviously. And we talk about this every week these days, and we're going to talk about it every week until they sign, until something happens.
3 months.
But you do have to look at AJ. Gallows and Anderson, even them, they seem happy. Even Finn Balor, who they don't do anything with, that dude seems happier than anybody. They all seem happy. I mean, here's the thing, man. You run the risk whenever you talk about like what do they care. Look at how much they've accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
They've accomplished so much that all this stuff about we're here to now Kenny I kind of believe more than the others, but you know I play my song. We're here to change wrestling and all this kind of stuff. I mean, those are really, really great lines to get people to buy merchandise. Those are really, really great things to say to get people to come to All In.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, it's just wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I know.
People are just paying money to go see entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not making freaking, you know, I don't know. It's not like Orson Welles who, man, talking about a man of his convictions. You know, that dude was like, no, I'm not going to cede any control and I'll go into bankruptcy multiple times over and yet somehow still be 500 pounds. I don't know. I think that I think 4X is probably a dollar amount that they'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, we won't know until something happens.
You want to rebrand this Generation Me? Go right ahead. You know,
I'd be surprised if that happened.
I would be very surprised if that happened. So I don't know. I think the Elite thing, it's probably, I mean, it's exactly what Meltzer says here because he talks to those guys probably daily. You know, they're doing stuff that they own to give themselves the most leverage at the end of contract season or at the, you know, during contract season for when that begins. But so I don't know. I doubt that any decisions have been made if they don't know what's on the table from WWE.
You want to talk Bound for Glory?
Yeah. Speaking of which, there was a great line in Bound for Glory. Don Callis said, God, he was talking about, God damn it, which match was it? It was probably the opening match, which was the tag match between Rich Swann, Willie Mack versus Matt Sydal and Ethan Page. And he said something about having somebody yelling in your ear. And he said, Josh, you know all about that, right? He said, I think you were better when you had somebody yell in your ear. And Josh Matthews said, I still have nightmares about that, you know?
Oh, wow. That's pretty funny.
Anyways, it was fun. It was like, I haven't seen the entire thing. I watched the opening match, which was so much fun. It was like a PWG match. And I've often said that's where Impact, if they're able to stay afloat, if they're able to stay alive, which is a big if, which is an if. If they're able to do a thing where they can take their decent production value and put in and give us some PWG type matches, I think it's a good combination that really nobody else is doing. Like, I don't know. I like their production value. Like, to me, it's a bit better than it's better than what Ring of Honor offers. Ring of Honor has really, really good matches, but Impact is putting on really, really good matches. The end of this main event finish that everybody's talking about, was John Morrison versus Austin Aries. Really, really good match. And it was one of these matches that everybody talks about, oh, are they shooting on each other? And there was a couple times when it looked like they were getting stiff and then receipts would be delivered, potatoes would be doled out. And the hilarious thing about all of it is that the lead up was simply over, or the shoot aspect of things was all about Austin Aries going off on John Morrison because John Morrison tweeted out a rip on Austin Aries for being short. And it's talking about 0 to 100 because he said something about him being short. And then Austin Aries started saying, what if I called your girlfriend husky? And what if I talked about, and then he used the word that you can't use anymore to describe somebody who's got, who's mentally challenged. So I think that's a proper term for it these days. Is that correct? Is that how you're supposed to say it now?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, right? I do.
Okay.
I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay. And I think he deleted the tweets, and they did this thing where John Morrison and Taya went on TMZ and talked to Harvey Levin? Is that his name? Mm-hmm. Okay. About Austin Aries. And the entire thing was it's really silly because it's all over a short joke, which makes Austin Aries look really bad. Mm-hmm. And it makes me wonder if this is real, if this is a shoot, what Austin Aries did at the end of this match was a shoot. It makes you wonder if he's just pissed off that this whole thing escalated because somebody called him short. That's kind of funny to me. So at the end of the match, I was actually very surprised. Number one, it was a really, really good match. It was really, really cool. Little rinky-dink place, but they dolled it up really nicely.
Yeah, the production value was nice. It just the way it was photographed made it look smaller, I feel like.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
I felt like the camera had to be right on top of the ring, basically.
Yeah, it felt uncomfortably close.
Yeah.
I did notice that. And then like one of the gulfs between between apron and barricade was maybe 3 feet. Mm-hmm. It was small.
Is that the one where Morrison did that spot?
Yeah, it was a really cool spot. Yeah, it was very effective. It was neat. And so, anyways, the finish saw there was a lot of cool stuff going on. Austin Aries did a suicide dive, mistakenly hitting Taya. She went into the barricade really, really hard. He gets up. Morrison brings him in. Brainbuster, Starship Pain. He goes over clean 1, 2, 3. After a really, really stellar match. It was really good. Moments after, Morrison rolls over to sell. They always stay down for a bit. Oh, what a crazy moment. Match.
I'd say nearly instantaneous.
Well, Austin Aries did take a second to go like this. He sort of rubbed his head. And then,
then he just gets up, yeah.
But yeah, I think it was the suddenness with which he got up, and he didn't sell like getting up was difficult. No, he got right up, got out on the apron, flipped off what seemed to be Don Callis and Josh Matthews. I'm assuming Don Callis because he's like one of the heads of creative there. Mm-hmm. Yelled at some stuff. Apparently yelled at some people in the crowd. I would really love somebody that was there in the crowd to like give some sort of report as to what he said.
Yeah.
And then he stormed off. Moose and Killer Cross, his entourage, his henchmen, looked fairly confused, which they probably would be anyways. Like that could be acting, could be not. I don't know. They stormed off. Johnny Impact said, "Are you kidding me?" Holds up the belt. Him and Ty, hold up the title at the top of the ramp. The show goes out. Nobody in commentary mentions what just happened. So I watched that part live, and then I looked on Twitter. I was like, okay, what's going on here? So it's one of two things. Either Austin Aries is just that unprofessional And maybe they had made the decision. I'm sort of keeping my eyes peeled for Ryan Satin's Twitter account.
Yeah.
Because he said he's going to reach out and try to talk to some people. Obviously knows a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Either Austin Aries is just that unprofessional and didn't like the idea that they had decided to do a title change when it really didn't seem like a title change should have happened.
Yeah.
They've been booking him.
Yeah.
Impact does this really cool thing where they have really strong heels go over very cleanly. They did this with Tessa, and it works magnificently. And they've been doing it with Austin Aries. He beat Moose cleanly at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought this was going to be another step for him to continue to be the stable top of the company, the stable face of the company guy.
Yeah.
They did a really good at Abyss's Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah.
They did a really, really effective confrontation between Austin Aries and John Morrison that came off as very legit. I tend to think it probably isn't. So either it's Austin Aries sort of being doing an Austin Aries thing, that he's openly admitted can be difficult sometimes. Yes. That was part of his gimmick when he came back from the WWE. And this I have a hard time believing that Impact would run an angle doing that.
I know.
Doing the kind of thing. They seem to be running away from that right now.
Yeah.
They seem to be trying to get away from that. They have clean finishes now. Granted, the Moose-Eddie Edwards match wasn't a clean finish, and they turned into a tag match with Tommy Dreamer and Killer Cross. And I'm not a huge fan of that because that harkens way too much to the kind of stuff they used to do. It's like, we're going to do the switcheroo now.
Yeah.
Not into that. But this had a clean finish. It's just like immediately afterwards, if this is Austin Aries being upset about, you're dumping me in a lower position now because I tweeted out some stuff I shouldn't have tweeted out. I have a problem with that. So I'm going to, and he took the pin clean. Not only did he take the pin clean at the Brainbuster, I remember watching this. After the Brainbuster, he got himself professionally into position for the Starship Pain.
Yeah.
He did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the pin was counted, maybe he felt contractually, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can get up and be a jerk now.
This is the last thing Ryan Satin tweeted. Obviously, I'm obviously gonna ask around, but it would be odd if Callis Demore scripted Austin Aries to no-sell the finish of Impact's biggest pay-per-view of the year.
I thought that was supposed to be Slammiversary, but maybe Bound for Glory is supposed to be their Mania.
I don't know.
I think at this point you can't really.
It's really hard to differentiate.
It really is, and that's okay. They're in a different spot right now. They have been. It's okay if you're Impact drawing a PWG size crowd. That's totally okay because you got at least it's not like a year ago when they went on a house show circuit and they couldn't even draw 100 people. The videos from that were downright sad. They were depressing. They really were. So odd ending to an otherwise. I'm not sure if the pay-per-view. I mean, there was some really cool stuff happening besides that match. I haven't watched it yet, but LAX versus the OGs.
I mean, this is what I saw on Twitter. Looked insane.
Yeah, they took the mat off, and so all you're left was with the hardwood underneath.
And they took the mat from the outside off too.
Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Brian Cage got pinned for the first time in Impact by Sami Callihan, which was OVE versus Brian Cage, Phoenix, and Pentagon. I'm really looking forward to seeing that match. Moose had a really funny promo. Eli Drake, his mystery opponent, was James Ellsworth. Didn't end up being Y2J. The crowd was chanting for that, and Jericho was on Twitter heavily tweeting about Bound for Glory. Kind of making everybody think, okay, he's doing that thing where he's acting like he's not there, but he's going to be there.
But no, he wasn't
there. So maybe they just reached a deal for him to tweet. I don't know. There's something out there was saying that he's looking at a 6-appearance deal.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which would be good. And would it save the company? It would extend the company's life for 6 appearances.
Yeah.
But
it wouldn't save it. No.
I mean, I don't know. I think if you continue to make a lot of good small steps, then your company will continue to thrive or will continue to survive in small steps.
And hopefully while it's surviving, it'll grow incrementally.
In which case, all those little steps matter. So all those little steps, and Jericho's a pretty big little step. And then let's see here. Also, like I said, Tessa Blanchard, she beat Taya Valkyrie in a really good match. Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer beat Moose and Killer Cross. Again, that seems to be the kind of case where maybe they don't. I wonder. I wonder if Eddie Edwards was supposed to beat Moose. And the reason they went to the tag thing is because they knew that Austin Aries was out the door. Maybe unhappy out the door.
Oh, I don't
maybe
know.
they found out that day, and maybe that's why they did that match. You know, Tommy Dreamer, he'll pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
He'll come in to do anything. And maybe that's why they did that, to keep Moose kind of strong-ish, not losing cleanly to Eddie Edwards.
Who took the pin in the tag match?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
right.
assuming it's Killer Cross, but I could be wrong about that. If it's Eddie Edwards pinning Moose, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, Eli Drake, James Ellsworth was the mystery opponent. And then after he handled James Ellsworth handedly, Abyss came in and they gave him one. So I kind of prefer that over Jericho coming in to be Eli Drake's mystery opponent. I figured if Jericho's going to come in, I know I said it during predictions, but I figured after the fact, if Jericho's going to come in, it would be at the end of Impact versus Aries.
Yeah.
And so they gave Abyss a really nice little moment.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, where he put down Eli Drake with his finisher. And then they did some really cool, some really weird stuff with Allie.
Oh yeah,
going into the undead realm, and they had like Rosemary like fighting with like these like energy bolts
spheres type things, right?
Against Sue Young.
Oh, yeah, I saw a
which
picture
is
of that.
Balls out, but it's different. It's something interesting. It's something kind of cool. Made for a cool visual.
More along in line with what Lucha Underground would.
Yeah. Which is cool. You know, if you take cool stuff from a bunch of different places and just try to make it seamlessly into your own thing,
why not?
You know, why not? If you're going to go out of business by the end of the year, then might as well try something different.
Yeah,
you
go
know.
down swinging.
Exactly. Don't go out with a whimper.
Nope. With a bang. Bang!
Bang! Speaking of bangs, got a Raw preview.
All right. Well, the Brothers of Destruction respond to Degeneration X. Are you ready?
Wow.
On November 2nd at WWE Crown Jewel, if it happens. Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement when Degeneration X squares off against the Brothers of Destruction, aiming for retribution after Undertaker and Kane destroyed HBK and Triple H with a harrowing post-match beatdown at WWE Super Showdown. After the blockbuster announcement that the infamous tag team was back in action, The Undertaker and Kane have yet to respond to DX. Will we hear from the Brothers of Destruction on Raw?
The Brothers of Destruction. Next, Seth Rollins to battle Drew McIntyre in a WWE World Cup qualifying match. Whoa.
No, say the full thing.
World Cup.
World Cup to determine the best in the world.
Tournament to determine the best in the world. This past Monday night, not only did we learn that John Cena would be part of the WWE World Cup tournament at WWE Crown Jewel on November 2nd, but also that Kurt Angle, who invaded and won Baron Corbin's Global Battle Royal as a faux conquistador, would also represent the red brand in the tournament. Now, Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins will face Raw Tag Team Champion Drew McIntyre for the opportunity to represent the red brand in the Elite. Ooh, the Elite. You know, the Elite tournament. To determine the best superstar in the world. See, look at that. They even dicked with the wording of it. They didn't say to determine the best in the world, the best superstar in the world. They're dicking with things, man.
Change it a little bit.
With questions running wild. As to the current state of the Shield after Dean Ambrose walked out without his fellow Hounds of Justice last week, and the threat of Dolph Ziggler and Braun Strowman waiting in the shadows, can the Architect overcome the always dangerous, sinister Scotsman?
Dean Ambrose take on Dolph Ziggler in a WWE World Cup determine the best in the world qualifying match.
Best superstar in the world now.
Until Tom Phillips says that 17 times on SmackDown, I'm not going to say it. After weeks of speculation as to whether Dean Ambrose's brotherhood with Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins was weakening, the Lunatic Fringe suffered a crushing pinfall in the Shield's six-man tag team match against Braun Strowman and Raw Tag Team Champions Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Following the loss, Ambrose walked out of the arena alone without saying a word, leaving the big dog,
Roman,
and the Architect wondering what's going through their brother's mind. In a WWE.com interview after Raw, Ambrose told Kayla Braxton, I don't get it. Maybe I just don't fit in anywhere anymore. As the WWE Universe is left wondering what this all means for the future of the Shield, a clearly conflicted Ambrose will take on Ziggler in a WWE World Cup tournament, the best in the world qualifying match.
Best superstar in the world. Ronda Rousey to address last week's ambush by the Bella Twins. The Bella Twins stood triumphant alongside Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey this past Monday night after the trio scored a second victory over the Riot Squad, but the celebration was short-lived. Out of nowhere, Nikki and Brie lashed out at the baddest woman on the planet, making it clear that they were tired of sharing the spotlight as WWE Evolution approaches. At the first ever all-women's WWE pay-per-view, Fearless Nikki will challenge the Rowdy One for her title. Can the bitter Bellas evade Rousey's fury in Philadelphia? Ooh, that's some alliteration right there.
Double alliteration going right there.
Find out what will happen when Ronda Rousey addresses the Twins' actions this week on Raw.
The all-new, all-aggressive Bobby Lashley.
Lashley.
With Leo Rush egging him on, loudly we might add. Bobby Lashley not only defeated Kevin Owens this past Monday night on Raw, but injured the former Universal Champion's knees in a jaw-dropping post-match assault. This was hardly the affable Lashley we've come to know since the return to WWE in April. What's next for this ruthless powerhouse? We'll find out on Monday Night Raw live, 8/7 Central on USA Network.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about Raw a little bit here besides the preview that we just did.
Yeah.
Are they scrambling right now to figure out how to handle the messaging around Crown Jewel? All the references to, number one, there ain't going to be any propaganda videos, right? There can't be.
I would certainly hope not. However, if it's written to their contract.
Is this one Riyadh?
Yeah.
Are we going to get any Vision 2030 Riyadh?
I honestly
progressive
would be surprised.
city
It might be part of the contract. Now, if they can go and say, hey, we don't, essentially go in there and say, given what's going on, either you ditch the propaganda aspects of the show or we pull out, we don't do it. If they want to try to exert that kind of leverage, then maybe they won't do it. But at this point, I'd be surprised if that's not a contractual thing.
So I would think it is a contractual thing. Like, that has to be.
Yeah.
Like, you get, this is what you do, A, B, and C. But I would think that WWE...
From the WWE standpoint, I'm sure they don't want to do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think they would either. I would think that they would say, hey, this is probably bad for both of us if we do this right now because you're just, poking a bear, basically. So maybe we should, not do that. And then, if the Saudis were to say, no, you need to do it, I don't care, then WWE would find themselves in positions of, okay, well, can we break the contract somehow? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Do some really half-hearted shit. And then there's the whole issue of, we mentioned that in the first thing, right? A bunch of the talent roster not even want to go there.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how hard they go on the Saudi Arabia, if they're going to drop all references to Saudi Arabia. WWE is really weird like that. Like, they think that,
by ignoring it, then people won't be paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
They do that a lot.
Yeah, they do.
It's so weird. Anyways.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, man. We got a bunch of questions. I miss doing live stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I forget. Did we mention at the head of the show we're not doing this live?
No.
Still have
but
problems.
if they're watching it now, anyways, they wouldn't be live anyways.
Yeah.
Rich Hardesty, I never wish anything like this, but if the rumors are true and Vince is the one headstrong about going through with Crown Jewel, if something negative happens with the wrestlers or the murder is discovered to be true between now and then, does Vince get voted out by the board? It'd have to take something like catastrophic for that to happen.
See, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. So we've always heard, okay, they've got stockholders to consider. The board cares about what?
Money.
That's all they give a shit about, right?
Yeah.
So being this sort of, faceless board, do they care about this stuff?
If Vince put the board in a position where they thought the company was going to lose money because Vince was still at the helm, then they would probably consider doing something.
Yeah.
Assuming it takes something catastrophic.
Yeah.
Tyler, if they have to change the venue for Crown Jewel, where should they move it to? I say Chase Owens' backyard. See who is a true Crown Jewel.
Do we know that Chase Owens has a backyard?
I do not know.
Okay. Let's see here. We got some in the Discord. Adam Darwin, if there was a big pay-per-view in England, who would you like to collaborate with other than Dan if you went to the pay-per-view as well?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, number. I mean, what? It's Cultaholic.
Cultaholic, yeah.
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 I would want to be in a room with Pacitti for 24 hours and
with the
dead
fish. On the fish on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Adams, if the Elite really are headed to WWE, would rather one of them debut in the Rumble, or would you rather them do some sort of invasion angle? They need to come all together. That's what I think.
I agree. Daskamania, will Steve W ever go to Saudi Arabia? Evidently, $1 million is my price tag for that, and because that's my promotion, I can do it.
Do whatever
I'll
you
lend
want
you
with
some
your promotion.
money if you want some.
No, I'm fine.
You don't want any of my Saudi blood money?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
I think you do.
Ryan Coates, is Austin Aries' ego his own worst enemy? Seems like it could be.
I think he's admitted as such, but again, I don't know. Did he just work himself into a shoot? Is that what happened here?
I don't know.
I think he worked himself into a shoot. Turnbuckle terrorist G Sith. We haven't had a big layoff in a good while. After expecting one right after All In, that didn't happen. Do you think we'll see one soon for the talent that has seemingly disappeared?
I don't know. Just, 2 years now they haven't had the post-Mania layoffs? So maybe that's not in their business plan. Although they keep bringing people up from NXT, they're going to have to make some room for.
You're going to have to do something with that.
Yep. Ken Harrison. Okay, so my girlfriend agreed to watch one match with me, and I want your opinions on what match I should show her. This may be my only chance to get her into it. Thanks, friendos.
One match to show somebody? I don't know, man. Maybe some backyard wrestling.
Sasha versus Bayley, NXT Brooklyn.
I don't know if anyone like normal wrestling match would really cut it. Because I've thought about this question before. Like, you're taking somebody who's not a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And then here's one match.
You got to
see if you'll like it.
You got to show her something that's got some drama to it, that's got a good story being told, but you don't necessarily have to know the entirety of the backstory to get it.
Wrestling's a lot more than just... I know wrestling is a lot, just matches. It's so much more than that, though. You know? I would actually suggest this. You know what I would suggest? A live show. Take her to a live show that you know is going to be good. Not like, you know, if you have like a little podunk local promotion. I love podunk local promotion. I think they're great. But if NXT comes to town, try to get like as close to front row as you can. You get it. You understand it when you're there. You totally understand it when you're there. Like Lacey, when we took her to PWG, she understood it. She got it. I mean, she understood it long before then. She doesn't have time to watch it, and she watches her own things. But, like, I don't know. I'm not sure that flipping on the TV and putting on a match is really going to cut it. You need to know. You need to experience it, like, live. You need to be there and soak it in. That's my opinion.
All right.
Let's see here. Big Money. I'll tweet at you, but can we get a shout-out for our friendo meetup at the WWE Live Super Show in Boston, Sunday, October 21st? Yeah, just tweet it to me. Nobody knows who you are, Big Money. You gotta let me know, and then I'll retweet it, and then they'll do that.
Chuck Sips, what would it take for you to drop the WWE Network?
Us not being able to do this anymore, plus on top of that, me literally not watching wrestling. I don't know. It's like $10. I don't.
But there's not any sort of political, you know, like say there's some massive scandal involving WWE that just puts you off morally.
I don't know. I mean, name something hypothetically.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. You know, it's for us. Like as frustrated as we occasionally get with WWE's product and as maddened as we are by some of their business decisions, at the same time, doing what we do, if we don't cover WWE, we won't be able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just the nature of it. So it puts us in positions, for example, like Crown Jewel, where we are discussing how, if we're going to cover it at all, how we are going to cover it based on everything else that's going on around it.
Yeah. So if the WWE, in total, their entire business practice was enmeshed in something similar, I don't know. I mean, honestly, that's a hypothetical that like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I mean, I would never put anything past Vince or Stephanie or to a degree, I guess, Triple H. I don't know. I don't know what these people are like. I really don't. But, the talent, which now is legion because they sign everybody. For the most part, they all seem like really nice people.
They do.
Whenever we met them and stuff, like they all seem, and they just seem like they love doing it. And so
it's a situation where probably some, if not a majority of those in the business operations may not necessarily be deserving of our support.
Yeah.
But the wrestlers seem like they are.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. If everybody in the company ended up being like horrible murderers or something, then yeah, I guess I'd have to turn it off. But that seems unlikely. The likelihood of me ditching the WWE Network is very, very high. Not very likely. Or very low, rather. Let's see here.
Mr. Triple Mania, with New Japan posting a YouTube video titled Jay White joins Bullet Club, and with him having a new Bullet Club style shirt and pro wrestling tees, do you guys like this, or do you think he should have taken over Chaos instead?
Well, here's the thing about Chaos. It's all over the map.
Yeah.
So it's like Bullet Club is that thing right now that's like, ooh, like Chaos was kind of obvious. He gets signed, tries to do a power takeover. It's kind of obvious. Bullet Club, that's different.
Here's
that's
the thing, though.
Different.
It depends. Granted, him joining the Bullet Club is relatively new. But if I had a choice, because I like Jay White, I think he's got a ton of talent. If I have a choice between him just being another guy in Bullet Club or leader of Chaos, I think for me and for him, I'd take leader of Chaos.
Well, yeah, but he ain't going to be just some hole in the wall in Bullet Club,
it seems like Tama Tonga's the de facto leader right now.
What is this lack of faith I'm sensing for Gato? Are you kidding me? This is going to be intriguing.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Jay
down
White,
the line.
Jay White, from day one, Jay White's not going to be towing a company line for Tama Tonga.
Oh, probably not.
Nah, man. I think this is going to be good. It raises more questions. Is he going to fall in line? No. What's going to happen? What's he going to do? I don't know.
Lord Kings, Sean looks sad to be back. Do you think that's because every time he reprises his role in DX that he's reminded of his former self?
So y'all got to go out and look at these pictures.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels looks like somebody brought him to the photo shoot, posed him, and told him to stay still for the pictures. Because he's not looking at the camera. And I know he's got a wonk eye, but neither eye is looking at the camera.
No.
And I speculated there was like a monitor just off camera.
Could be that he was looking at. But
they don't usually do that, though.
No, usually the monitor is for the people taking the pictures. The people monitoring the pictures, not the talent themselves.
Yeah, it's weird. He's not looking on.
And like Triple H is behind him trying to look all intense, and Sean's face is usually this.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem into it.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. It's weird. It's a weird set of pictures.
And ever since he was born again, the DX thing, it seemed like an obligation for him because he doesn't cross-chop anymore.
Well, yeah, he's like, he can't do that. He's Christian. But at least in 2006 when he couldn't do it, he was having fun.
Yeah.
He was, or 2008, whatever it was.
He looked like he's having fun right now.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder, maybe that's what I would be looking at if I took $1 million, maybe, and
That's the point I'm trying to make, man.
Yeah.
You take all that money and then you're stuck in a situation where you're not having fun anymore. Is that worth it?
$1 million. I can have a lot of fun with $1 million.
But then if you're just looking to have fun with $1 million, you blow through it all, and then you don't have the $1 million anymore.
Well, at least I had fun during those $1 million.
All right.
I can look back on those days fondly.
All right, Mick Howley, if the Austin Aries thing is truly a work, do you think it hurts the business?
Yeah, it hits Impact. Yeah, it hurts Impact's business if it's a work. Are you kidding me? That'd be terrible. What are you, Vince Russo? Get out of here with that. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, don't be doing that.
That's terrible. That's why I don't think it is.
Although I guess if their goal is just to get people talking about Impact, in that sense, they've done it.
That's not what that's. I will give faith. Perhaps it's undue faith. I have faith in Don Callis. I have faith in Gato. Only 2 people I have faith in.
Oh, this is great. Jason Lewis put the following groups.
Oh, this is the one I was laughing earlier.
Put the following groups into wrestling factions. So first, he mentions 10 for the Win Live.
That's great.
That's great.
I can't. Who is this again? Jason Lewis?
Jason Lewis.
Jason Lewis, the fact that he knows 10 for the Win Live.
Yeah.
Man, talk about glory days. Talk about having fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Put a lot of work in that show.
We put way too much work into that show.
Hour-long variety show. Photoshops and shooting skits and stuff. All for about
that. If we were following
800
Inside
people to watch
Gaming, we had maybe 1,100 people. If it was just us going on cold, maybe 400.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was still fun, though.
It was a blast.
So 10 for the Win Live. You, me, and someone named Hilton. What faction would we be in?
Someone named Hilton. What faction would we be in?
Oh, Taguchi Japan.
Oh, clowns. No, man. Funhouse would be Taguchi Japan. We'd be something cooler.
No, we wouldn't.
We'd be Chaos.
Maybe.
Think about this, though. Like, Chaos. No, you're right. Taguchi Japan. Because they don't really have fans. They don't really have a following.
No.
They just, quote, tell off everybody else. Does that make you Taguchi?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Who do I get to be?
Juice.
No, Hilton's Juice.
All right. I guess you're Tanahashi then.
Nice.
Or David Finlay.
That's probably closer to the truth. That's probably closer to the truth.
All right,
we have similar body types.
Inside Gaming and Funhouse. Chaos. Because they're a larger group.
They're a larger group. I don't even know half of them anymore. But there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent.
Yes.
There. There's a lot to like.
Screw Attack, Game Attack.
Oh, I didn't know they were involved in this.
Yeah. It could be other factions, not just New Japan.
Oh, well, how are we not Undisputed Era then? Come on, man.
All right, that's fine.
We get to be Undisputed Era. I don't care if it makes sense or not. We're
Doesn't make
Undisputed
any
Era. Game Attack, Screw Attack. Then we Taguchi Japan.
All right. Respawn.
Oh, Bullet Club. They're the coolest.
Yeah.
Cow Chop. They shoot guns and stuff.
Cow Chop.
Cow Chop. Oh, LIJ. They have LIJ written all over them.
Yeah. Dan.
Shibata.
He wasn't in a faction, though. What about British Strong Style?
Well, it's just Dan, though. That's the thing.
Okay, he can still join a faction. That's the
question.
question.
He's going to join a faction. Yes. I thought each of these were their own factions.
Put the following groups into wrestling factions.
I like doing it my way. Each of these groups become that faction.
No.
Dan Shibata.
Dan Shibata?
Yeah, man.
You don't want to be in British Strong Style?
No, he's Shibata. Going around headbutting YouTube.
Oh, my goodness. Dre, with how Bound for Glory's match between Aries and Johnny Impact ended, will it bring more eyes to their product or just end up hurting it?
Time will tell. I mean, find out Thursday, I guess. I would sense that we'll see a ratings increase because people will want to know.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I would like to also think that Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, this isn't the way they want to do things.
Yes.
That's not the reason why. They would prefer to get those eyeballs because of what LAX is doing and OGs are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because of, even the match itself. Because they see Moose's promos, which he's like one of my favorites right now, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, he's great.
Chris Figluisi, should Crown Jewel get canceled, do you think HBK will recant his comeback?
This was a great question. We'll end on this one.
Yeah.
So let's say Crown Jewel gets canceled. That money then goes off the table for WWE. And I know, look, we don't know the contract situation. We have no idea. We have no idea.
Yes.
But in this hypothetical, because it's fun, Crown Jewel gets canceled. Let's say WWE is going to get $60 million for it. $10 million of that was going to go to Shawn Michaels. That's gone, right? They do decide to put on Crown Jewel somewhere else, right? Just as a regular show.
I think if the show happens in some capacity somewhere else, he'll just do that one match, and that'll be it.
But does he get the $10 million? They have to, right?
I would think so.
They have to eat that.
I would think so,
because you can't have Triple H in his face saying, "Are you ready?" And then he's like,
it's like doing that stuff.
Yeah, I'm good. But then how do you go to Vince and say, man, sorry, Vince, I'm still taking that $10 million.
Yeah. Well, a contract.
Sean.
If he signed a contract and that's his PO, then that's what he gets.
Sean.
There's really no sorry about it.
Look, Vince, you just signed a $1 billion TV deal. HBK gets $10 million of that. Dun, dun. Think I'm cute. I know I'm super
wealthy.
rich. I know I'm wealthy. Oh, man, that's good. Anyways, there's some music. Patrons, $1 up. You guys get a bonus episode today, post-show bonus episode. I want to start calling them bonus episodes, Larson.
Why not post-show, yay or nay?
Sounds better, bonus episode. It's a better selling point. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.